What if the last 11 years of your life weren't random? What if every betrayal, rejection, power struggle, identity crisis, and ending was part of a deeper hero's journey, and the people who tried to control you unknowingly became part of your initiation? There is a powerful numerological symbolism behind 11. In numerology, 11 is considered a master number, associated symbolically with heightened intuition, illumination, revelation, and awakening. It also contains the energy of 1 + 1 = 2, the movement from individual identity into polarity, relationship, and integration. Now apply that symbolism to the hero's journey. The journey begins with separation. You leave an old version of yourself behind. Then comes the initiation, the trials, confrontations, losses, betrayals, and uncomfortable experiences that force you to discover what you are actually made of. And this is where narcissistic dynamics can become psychologically significant. Not because narcissists possess supernatural power over anyone, and not because every difficult person is a narcissist, but when someone repeatedly attempts to manipulate, diminish, control, provoke, or destabilize you, the experience can become a mirror, revealing where your boundaries, identity, self-worth, and emotional autonomy need strengthening. The mistake is believing, they are destroying my life. The transformation begins when you realize, this experience is showing me what I refuse to surrender anymore. That's the alchemy. Instead of obsessing over the antagonist, study the information contained within the conflict. What did the experience teach you? Where were your boundaries weak? What behavior will you never normalize again? What parts of yourself did you abandon to keep the peace? What did you discover about your intuition? What did you learn about your own capacity to survive? And most importantly, who did you become after the experience? Because the hero's journey isn't about defeating another person. It's about becoming someone who no longer needs the approval, permission, validation, or understanding of the antagonist to move forward. And there's another beautiful numerical layer. 9 is traditionally associated with completion. 10 reduces to 1, a new beginning. And 11 is the master number that symbolically points toward illumination. So the symbolism can be read as 9, completion, 10, rebirth, 11, awakening. That's why an 11-year chapter can feel less like an ending and more like a threshold. You aren't necessarily being called to prove what happened. You may be being called to integrate what happened. The antagonist becomes part of the story, but they don't get to become the author. And here's how you use the journey to your advantage. Stop asking, how do I make them understand me? Ask, what did this experience teach me about myself? Turn conflict into discernment. Turn rejection into redirection. Turn boundaries into self-respect. Turn solitude into self-knowledge. Turn survival into wisdom. And turn the chapter you once considered your greatest setback into evidence of your evolution. Because the ultimate victory of the hero's journey isn't watching the antagonist fall. It's realizing they no longer determine where you go next. Your 11-year journey doesn't have to end with revenge. It can end with return. Return to yourself. Return to your purpose. Return to your voice. Return to the person you were becoming before the world convinced you to abandon yourself. Your heroine journey is your testimony. If you're completing an 11-year chapter, or you've lived through a period that fundamentally transformed who you are, tell your story. Not to glorify the antagonist, not to expose everyone involved, but to document the evolution of you. Comment 11 if you're entering a new chapter. Then share one sentence about the greatest lesson your hero's/heroine's journey taught you. And share this with someone who is finally realizing that the chapter that broke them may have been the chapter that revealed them. And that's Alchemy.In.Motion. I appreciate all your support. Your likes, shares, and comments are priceless. Be sure to like, share, and follow your tribe of alchemists.